Hello, I thought I'd make a quick vlog, and I'm still up. The sun is up now, and I'm still up. I spent last night just watching YouTube videos, and I don't even know why. The algorithm really became so weird. So weird. I watched, a few things about Sydney Sweeney and this one guy in particular. Like, he's come up on my algorithm a few times on my on my um on my feed a few times, and so like this time it was about Sydney Sweeney, and so I watched it, and then he came up again, and the next time it was about a woman with 7 kids wondering why her boyfriend of 3 months dumped her, and how she wants one more kid and another, whatever, I don't know. And then but it's always about I don't know. And then there was another one. I watch him, and he gives a man's point of view from what women complain about when it comes to men. So I watched a few of them, and he makes sense. He makes sense, but he doesn't know a woman that well either. You know, I mean, women want security. Women want love. Women want a man to cherish them. And it's very difficult to find that. And he really doesn't take into consideration the culture in which we live, which encourages young women to not get married right away. The tide is turning, but this is what the culture is. And so we don't mind Mercer watching him or his vlogs, but we do have to say to him that he doesn't understand women in the United States right now and why they have multiple children we're not talking about one race, we're talking about across the board. Why they have multiple children and why they don't have a husband, or they have failed marriages. It's all part of the culture and upbringing. Yes. Excuse me ahead of time. Good, I held it in. Anyway, but yeah, so I find his vlogs very interesting, but his point of view is a man's point of view, and I'm a woman. So, like, I feel for these women. I do. I feel for these women. They bought the lie. They bought the lie that you can go out there and sleep around and have kids and all that kind of stuff. They bought the lie. Because, when it comes right down to it, women, like my one of my men said at the beginning, and Marissa said it too, women want security. They want love. They want to feel appreciated. They want to be special. Yeah. But the culture tells them to wait or to not want that. To not want that. And many times when they realize that that's really what they want, they have kids, or their life is complicated, or they're older, or many things. But that doesn't mean they can't get married. That doesn't mean they can't find true love. Exactly. Even if you have 7 kids, it doesn't mean that you can't find true love. It doesn't. You can find a man with 4 kids or 6 kids or 7 kids of his own. And You can have a blended family like the Brady Bunch, a blended family. So many kids. Yeah, but if you have 7 kids, it shows that you love kids. And don't you want a man who also loves kids? If I had 7 kids, let's just say this, even if I had one child, I would not be looking for a man without a kid. You know, I mean, I don't want someone who just married someone and divorced them, but I also don't want someone who just is a player and has kids, you know, but someone who is taking care and is actively involved in his child's life, at least one kid, you know. So when it comes to, this guy says a lot about single women, single mothers, a lot about single mothers. Well, you know, single mothers have a right to have love too. They do. And, they have expectations. But what he doesn't take into consideration, and this is me speaking as a woman, a lot of women have a sixth sense. And they can say what they're looking for because they have a sixth sense that that's what they're going to get. This is true. This is very true. It's not always the case, but sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Yeah. And, you know, single mothers, you know, don't mess with men without kids that they're not taking care of. Your best bet is to be with a man who is actively involved in his children's life. That's your best bet. Who had the children with one woman. That's your best bet. This is one of Marissa's men speaking. It is your best bet. Because you don't know what you're getting with a man with no kids. Not all men have good intentions when it comes to children. That's why you want to make sure someone has kids, someone is actively involved in their lives and shows love and support and kindness for their children. Yeah, so that's all I have to say because he keeps saying it from a man's point of view, a man's point of view. Well, a man who is single with no kids probably is only going to, well, I can't generalize. Okay, I can't because I'm sure there are a lot of men with no kids who fall in love with single mothers, and they're good men. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I think, like, I really don't know how men think. I really don't. I don't. But we do. We do. And we are letting single mothers know that their best bet is to look for a man with children that he had with one woman that he was with and is actively involved in his children's life. All right, that's for my man. Yeah, but I'm so hooked. I'm so hooked on his vlogs. No matter what, like I keep watching his vlogs. I am so hooked on his vlogs, everything. Just like he keeps showing women like this woman or that woman or that woman and that woman. And the one with 7 kids was not black. She was white. And he also shows every race, every gender, well, every race, every every ethnicity and everything. So, I don't want you to think that because some people put it on me that I actually think this or I think that, which I don't. Which I don't. Okay, so and we will edit that out. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he has me hooked. He has me hooked, hook, line, and sinker. I am so I am so on board watching his vlogs, So I don't know. I don't know. But not to make fun of anyone. No, not to make fun. I usually feel really bad for the women, you know? But like I don't know. I don't know. Like he kind of makes light of the women on the vlogs without taking into consideration that there's I don't know how many people on the planet, but there's more than a billion. 2 billion, 3 billion. I think the last time I knew how many people were on the planet, it was like 7 billion. And that was like 20 years ago. So anyway, but so there are billions of people on the planet. That doesn't mean that people are stuck. That doesn't mean someone has to get stuck um in a situation. You don't have to be stuck. You don't. You don't have to be stuck in a situation where you have multiple children or one child, you're alone, and you want a husband. You don't have to. You can have a husband. You just have to know how to look, you know? And we recommend not sleeping with anyone else until you have a ring on your finger and a marriage license that says you're married. Yeah. That's for my man. And that's for Marissa too. Yeah, it's for me too. Um anyway. But yeah, so this guy, I mean he he's got me hooked. He's got me hooked. Like, 7 kids and someone had bills that were 10,000 a month and she was looking for someone to pay her bills, because what's wrong with that? What? What's wrong with that? And he's making the point that most women, the lower, whatever, it all comes down to money. I prefer to, I definitely preferred to have a career and make my own money. And right now, I'm poor. I am. I'm very poor. I am cash poor. I am very cash poor. But I have a collection which is worth a lot of money if I could ever sell it. But so I've invested. I have invested. So I have stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. I just I don't think it's fair to I don't think it's fair to men. Women can want whatever they want, okay? But I don't think it's fair to men to expect every single guy that you date to be willing to pay your bills. It takes a special kind of guy to do that. And then he was also saying, like he showed a video of a woman who had, I think, 2 kids, 2 or 3 kids, and she's like, I don't want to go on a date. If you want to impress me, come over, mow my lawn, come over and fix things and stuff like that. You know, maybe it's a little too soon. Maybe it's a little too soon for that. But, she said that's how someone will win her heart. But what's wrong with that? She's like, I don't want to go out to dinner. I don't want to spend money like that. And I'd rather have someone come to the house and hang out. There's nothing wrong with that. She has kids. She has kids. So I'm a counterpoint of view, and my men are too, but I'm still gonna watch him if he comes up on my feed because I think it's very interesting. I think it's all very interesting. But I do feel for the women. I do. I'm not making fun of you. I'm not making fun of you at all. You know, I feel for you. I I really do. Um, and so yeah, I'll stop talking about that man. I don't even know his name. I don't. So whatever. Um, you know, men don't want to feel taken advantage of. So when you're looking for someone to do certain things for you, like either pay your bills or mow your lawn or whatever, you have to find the right man. You know? You do. So maybe make your expectations known pretty soon and then take it from there. You know? I mean, you can expect someone who makes $50,000 a year to take over all your bills and his bills too. You can make it work. You can. But if you have a luxury lifestyle, it's not going to work. So, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, uh, yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm so over my jeans. I'm so over my jeans. I just maybe I went a little too far. Maybe I went a little too far with my caramel color skin. Those are my genes. That's genetics. And my brown eyes are genetics. And my black hair is genetics. Oh, and this gray hair. This is definitely genetics. Genetics. It's all genetics. So, yeah. The gray hair is genetics for sure. For sure. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna say that anymore. I think I went overboard a little bit with that. And she did not go overboard. She did not. Everyone should be proud of their genes. Everyone. Especially when it comes to hair color, eye color, and skin tone. I agree. I agree. Um, what else? What else? You know, Jesus. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. I say that all the time. I don't know if you know. I don't know if I've said it here on this blog. But jeez Louise. My goodness. I can't, like, I just can't go places multiple times. I just can't. I just can't. Not here in Cleveland. And I would love to go support Dunkin' Donuts, but I've been to most of them around here, and it's already too late. It's already too late. Um, but what can I say? What can I say? I I have a lot of enemies, especially here in Cleveland. I have a lot of enemies. And, I don't know why. Well, I know why, but still, you know, it's too bad. It's too bad. But then again, I'd rather be alone than deal with people into witchcraft or the occult in any kind of way. I'd much rather be alone because, I've been around these people my whole life. I mean, it's so hidden. I mean, because the occult is hidden. It's hidden. All the stuff they do is hidden. And I barely have scraped the surface of what they can do or how they do. I don't even know how they do it. I really don't. Like bubble and all that, whatever. With their bubble and their cauldrons and stuff. Whatever. I have no idea how they do stuff. I still don't. Like, okay, if you have a cauldron, what the heck? You put stuff in it and then what? And then what? I don't know. I don't, and then how? How is it possible that all those people who were touching me way back in 2017 were putting evil in me by just a touch? How? I don't understand. I don't. And I know sometimes they break my handle, my car, whatever, just by touching it. So how do you do that? And we know, but we're not going to share it with Marissa until we have privacy. Marissa has a right to know because it's been done to her whole life. And she will know all the secrets of the occult. But right now she can't know. Yeah. Like, I have no idea how they get their power. I don't know how they do the things they do or how they make a wand magical. I have no idea. I just don't. And I've been around them this whole time and I know it's magic and it is magic and it is witchcraft and it is the occult. But Marissa doesn't know very much at all. I don't. I really don't. Bubble in a cauldron. Whatever. Bubble, double trouble. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know if that's something. I just don't. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I really don't. I don't. Anyway, but, so yeah. Uh, anyway, what else? What else? And I don't even know. Oh, yeah. I was saying I can't go places multiple times. I just can't. I just can't. I can't. And if I talk to a stranger more than once, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Anyway, it's just. They're heck bent. And I'm saying heck bent, even though my men don't want me to say that, but I'm going to say it just for emphasis. They don't want me saying anything like heck or darn or shoot or golly or, well, she can say golly. Well, I can say golly, but they don't want me saying things like that. But they're heck bent on ensuring I have no friends. And that's fine with me. That's fine with me. I get bored now. Now I get bored because I'm not allowed, like, I have the thought police. I have two different units patrolling my mind. And, so I have the evil unit that patrols my mind, and I have my men my man unit that patrol my mind. So I have two different units patrolling my mind, and I just, oh my gosh. I'm very limited. I'm very limited now. First, I was limited on the things I could do. Now I'm limited on the things I can think of. So I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Anyway, I'm just popping in here because, oh, I'm going to finish what I was saying at the beginning of this vlog. So yeah, my algorithms, well, I don't know if it's algorithms or algorithm. It's the algorithm. Okay, so the algorithm on my YouTube is all messed up now because I watched something about Beyonce being demonic, and then I watched something about Charlie Kirk and I forgot what it was. I don't know. But then it all got like really creepy and really weird and all that kind of stuff. So, and then all about women, and then I watched something about a woman who I only watched a little part of it because it was too sad. It was too sad. A woman caught her husband cheating on her with his mistress, and I only watched a tiny part of that. I said I can't watch it. I can't watch it. So sad. It's so sad. And then I watched a tiny part of a car accident, and I was like, yeah, I can't watch that either. But it's all, and now and that was stuff that was coming up because I had watched all the other stuff, you know. So I just went on YouTube and I started looking up things to change the algorithm. So I looked up home art studios, and if you were following me in 2017 and 2018, I had a Pinterest and I had pictures of home art studios. So I just looked that up on YouTube and I was watching some of those. And then, and then I looked up a dog. He passed away last year. And I used to follow him, Sherpa. And it was about his owner and talking about how it's been a year and it's not any easier or anything. And they had a great, like, they had a great bond. It was so sad. He was so cute. He would go, arr, 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 arr. He was a Malamute. So he was so cute. He was so cute. And it's so sad. It's just that his owner had a special van for him, and then when he got a little bit older, he bought a sports car that is a convertible, so the dog could sit in the seats and have his head up above the roof, and as he's driving, as his owner's driving, obviously. I don't know. But I have to change the algorithm. I really do, because I don't want to see all these men cheating on women, and I don't want to see like older women being taken advantage of by, because I saw one vlog like that. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched part of it. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see sad things, you know? I don't. I don't. Um if there's something that is like a public figure who passed, something like that, maybe. But all of this stuff, like car accidents, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see people getting arrested. I don't want to see people people being cheated on or anything like that. I don't. So I have to change the algorithm, because right now all I have is YouTube and a few other things. So, yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to end this vlog, and I'm going to say I hope everybody watching has a great evening tonight and a great day tomorrow, and things go your way. All right. Bye.